when it's exhibition, because we know the Americans would beat up on their opponent. They didn't do that in this game. They were taking on Nigeria, and the Nigerians came to play right from the get-go, not intimidated. They made the Americans work. Bam Adebayo there with the finish from Damian Lillard. USA still down 4 early. Kevin Durant shot just 2 of 11 in this game. USA within 2 early second quarter. USA up 3. Jason Tatum backing in. It's a nice move right here. And 1. He had 11 first half points. Late first half now. USA up 4. Durant drives. Precious Achiuwa. How many times do you see KD get rejected like that? The Americans led by just 2 at the half. Third quarter. Game tied. Adebayo. Tough finish right here. Gets it to go, though. USA back up by 3 after the free throw. Later in the third, USA still up by 3. Gabe Vincent, who plays for the Miami Heat. He went 6 of 8 from 3 in this game. Then Caleb Agata hit another 3. Nigeria up 2 after 3 quarters. Fourth quarter, you think Team USA, okay, with all that talent on that squad, they're going to figure this thing out. They didn't. Tatum does get the bucket there, but Nigeria hitting one of their 23s in the game. 23s for the Nigerians. They're up 80-77. Look how wide open this guy is right here. Boom. Nigeria up 6. And then Nigeria going to go up 8. However, the Americans, they did make a run. And they rely on Kevin Durant. It's their best player. Got to get in the ball. USA within 5. Ensuing possession. Another 3 for Nigeria. They talked about it after the contest. Mike Brown's squad. Mike Brown, the associate coach with the Golden State Warriors, the head coach on this team. They just never got flustered. Never felt the pressure. The Americans with a chance. Zach LaVine gets the ball from Damian Lillard. Does not get a shot off before being fouled. LaVine would miss 2 free throws. Nigeria up by 3. 1.4 seconds to go. They get the ball back right here. Oh, come on. That's not going in. Nigeria beating.
Now streaming on Disney+.
A stunner for the United States in Las Vegas. They opened up first of 5 exhibition games before going to the Tokyo Olympics, and they lose to Nigeria. Frankly, got outplayed by Nigeria in this contest, 90-87. They were 28.5-point favorites coming in to the contest, and after this one, Bam Adebayo, who plays for the Americans, just saying respect to the motherland, and Nigeria does reserve that respect as they come up with a huge win. We bring in Brian Windhorst. Brian, the last time they played, you got to go back, 43-point victory 5 years ago, Team USA on Nigeria. You go back to 2012, it was an 83-point win, so Nigeria clearly deserves the respect and some credit here. But at the same time, I know you don't want to panic, but it is a shocking loss. What did you make from it?
Yeah, so, the Nigerians started 4 active NBA players. They didn't have 4 active NBA players on their starting lineup 9 years ago. But the USA started 5 all-NBA players. And so clearly, Team USA's talent should win out. And if this had been a 48-minute game, it was a 40-minute game, they do win. But they play 40-minute games in the Olympics. And this is absolutely a reminder of why Team USA has struggled in international events periodically. You could tell the difference here that Nigeria has been together for about 2.5 weeks. And the Americans have only had 4 days of practice. Now, that probably shouldn't matter with a talent edge, but boy, did it matter in this game because the Nigerians moved the ball so much better. The Americans played one-on-one isolation basketball, not familiar with each other. And at the end of the game, their execution was just sloppy. It's a very disappointing loss, but it's a reminder they've got so much work to do before they leave for Tokyo next week.
You look at the Nigerians, they hit 23-pointers in this contest, and we were watching the highlights here. A lot of them are wide open. I mean, that has to be an effort thing, is it not?
Yeah, the U.S. were a little bit slow in the rotations, and the Nigerians just threw the ball around faster than the U.S. could move. I mean, that is something that when you've seen the U.S. lose, whether it was back to Greece back in 2006, or whether it was to Serbia or France back in the 2019 World Cup, it was often because the other team just shot the lights out. And they shoot the lights out because they can get open looks when they move the ball fast enough. And The thing that I'm going to say about this is Team USA was really trying to win this game. I wish I could sit here and tell you that they were lethargic and they just didn't care. No, they wanted to win. They just got beat. And so Nigeria is only one of the competitive teams they're going to face just here in Las Vegas. Spain is here. Argentina is here. Australia is here. They're going to be seriously tested before they even get on the plane, and they're going to have to get a lot better, and their chemistry is going to have to improve a lot in the next 10 days.
Greg Popovich kind of mentioned this in his post-game press conference. He said this is almost a blessing in disguise. Do you agree?
This is something that Mike Krzyzewski has been saying since he first took over as coach 15 years ago. You have to respect the opponent. You have to respect the opponent, and it's something that Team USA has to be challenged with. But I got to be honest with you. I don't think it's a matter of Team USA not respecting the opponent. I think they respected their opponent. I just think the opponent is way closer to the skill level that the Americans have, despite all their firepower. And that's just a sobering reality of where we are. And trust me, there are some teams out there who they're going to face in Tokyo who could potentially really put a hurt on them and are going to be emboldened by seeing this. The Nigerians are not regarded as a medal favorite. Maybe that'll change now, but they are not regarded as a medal favorite. And so for the medal favorites and challengers to see this tonight, they're going to realize that this U.S. team, despite its star power, can be beaten.
Well, the Americans got wrong.
In a way, I'm kind of glad it happened. That loss means nothing if we don't learn from it, but it could be the most important thing in this tournament for us to learn lessons from this and see what we did to move on. I don't think anyone should act, nor will we act, like this is the end of the world. It's about everybody else deserves a lot of credit, and we have to play our ass off to do this.
I don't think any African team has been able to beat USA basketball in an exhibition game or a real game, but to try to get a little momentum for Nigeria, for the continent of Africa, because we feel like we represent more than just Nigeria, and really for all of Black people around the world. I mean, to get that win and show that we can was a big moment for us.
Emotional words by Mike Brown, a former NBA head coach, of course, as we all know. 9 years ago, Team USA beat Nigeria by 83 points. Just 9 years ago, 5 years ago, they beat them by 43 points. This is just the third exhibition loss by Team USA since the Dream Team's debut back in 1992. KD, Damian Lillard, Bradley Beal all struggled from the field, shooting a collective 30% after they shot 48% during the regular season. Nigeria, on the other hand, was hot all night from beyond the arc specifically, going 20 for 42. Our Brian Windhorst joins us now from Las Vegas to make sense of all this. So, Brian, my first question, who's responsible?
Linda, when 9 years ago, the Americans played Nigeria in the London Olympics, and they won by 83 points. But tonight, Nigeria started 4 current NBA players. So that right there just tells you how they've closed the gap. The other thing I think is important to point out, Nigeria got together back on June 20th. They started practice. The Americans started practice this Tuesday. And you could feel the difference in the preparation level. Having said all that, the Americans started 5 All-NBA players, and their execution level was just not there. There's a lot to assess from this, but I'll tell you what the underlying message is. Winning this gold medal is going to be really hard, and it's going to be really hard right here from day one.
Bob Fitzgerald, who normally calls Golden State Warriors games for TV, said this was the basketball equivalent to USA-Russia 1980. I would not go that far, Brian. What are your thoughts?
You know what, Linda? After the game ended, when you watched the Nigerian players react, they didn't go crazy on the court. Frankly, the players they were playing against were their peers. Now, those guys that, are all backup, second and third stringers in the NBA, but that's not the way it is anymore. The talent level balance is not as drastic. And so if Team USA comes out and plays C+ level basketball, they're going to get beat because I'm telling you, as good as Nigeria played, they are not a medal favorite. I mean, maybe this is the beginning of a great run for them, but they are not one of the more talented teams. I understand, the instinct to say this is historic. And when you think of Team USA, they were 54-2 in exhibition games since 1992. When you hear that number and you say this loss, it sounds stunning. But I think this is a combination of the opposition getting better and the Americans just not having gelled. And the clock is ticking. They leave for Japan in 10 days.
That's our Brian Windhorst with his take on Saturday's unexpected loss by the Americans to Nigeria. Thanks, Brian.